Hello, fellow geeks, nerds, and Trekkies. I'm your host, Koala King Kong. And today I'm joined by two of my friends, Harrison and Ben. All three of us are amateur scientists, and today we are going to be discussing the sciences behind Star Trek. First on the list is warp travel. Harrison, what do you know about the actual science behind warp speed?
So, warp travel is basically you have a device that creates a bubble around a ship, and what it does is it contracts the space-time in front of the ship and expands it behind it. So it makes everything in front of the ship closer and everything behind it farther away.
Yes. Now, how much power would we need to actually do this?
Lots.
We would need nuclear reactors, which are something we do not have yet.
Okay. So, for those of you who don't know don't understand what contracting space-time is, it's basically, if you take a sheet of paper and then put a ball on it, that ball's going to sink the space around it. That's essentially what the Earth does and all planetary objects do in space, right?
Yes.
So, if you put a bubble around that and were to fold it, almost, kind of turn that bubble into an oblong shape, you're propelling, the back part is propelling you forward. Almost. You have almost a little bit of an aerodynamics in space without any air. So, deep space travel, that's been a topic of interest in the news lately. Deep space travel, think of Star Trek. Now don't think of Star Trek. It is the farthest thing from the truth from what we can actually do with deep space travel. Those ships are not the actual things that we would be able to create. Nacelles, never going to happen. I hate to break it to you, never going to happen. The closest thing to a Star Trek ship we'll ever have is probably a Vulcan ship, where we have the warp rings and the vessel inside of the rings. That's the closest thing we'll ever have. But deep space travel it's very interesting because take Alpha Centauri, right? If we want to go there, that's what, 4,000 light years away?
4 light years away.
Really?
Yes.
Well, which was the 14,000 then?
I have no idea. There's a lot of them.
There's one. I'm gonna look it up right now because there is a star that's 14,000 light years away.
So if we traveled at the speed of light, which we really couldn't
Well, even
do,
then.
yeah, it's really not very possible to get to other places.
So here's how you travel faster than the speed of light. Einstein's special relativity stated that you could only travel, that no matter could travel at the speed of light or beyond it for that matter. But that's for objects traveling through
Kepler.
space.
The Kepler telescope, it says, it was identified by the Kepler telescope and discovered by announced, blah, blah, blah. It's the first potentially rocket superplanet. This is Kepler 22b. That was Kepler 22b, that's what I was talking about. So Kepler 22b is about 14,000 light years away, around, give or take. But as Ben said, even going at the speed of light,
It's unrealistic.
it's, even then, I mean, even if we could go to the speed of light, it's going to take 14,000 years for us to get there.
Yeah, but
But it's going to take double that time if we don't go at the speed of light. Because then we're going to have, 10 generations living on an enclosed ship.
yeah, but you won't age because you're traveling at the speed of light.
It's still going to take 14,000 years. You want to spend 14,000 years just going forward? Even then, at the speed of... Warp travel and the speed of light goes in a straight line. If you're going at the speed of light, you have to stop eventually so you don't crash into something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Even with warp travel. That's why. That's the thing in Star Trek, is they always wait to get out of the solar system before using warp speed. Because you don't know where the planets are, you don't know where the asteroids are, you don't know. So, deep space travel, our astronomy teacher, Mr. Gordon, mine and Harrison's astronomy teacher, Mr. Gordon explained to us, it would take probably 10 generations, a huge surplus of food, water, supplies, a giant ship, and right at this point, it's unrealistic, sadly. Space travel is something that I believe the three of us really want to happen, but it's just unrealistic at the point. Next topic was teleportation. The teleporters in Star Trek. If you think about it, the actual science is creating thousands upon thousands upon thousands, probably trillions of micro wormholes, and then opening them up on the other end. You're taking atom and atom and atom apart. They're going through the wormhole down to the surface. What do you think the actual science behind it was? Because they do say they're taking atom by atom apart and reconstructing it.
So if they're reconstructing an atom, that would actually kill you.
Explain.
It would destroy every atom in your body and then recreate it in another location.
Thank you. Thank you. Listen, I love Star Trek. I wish I could be Star Trek Vegas right now. It's going on right now. I wish I could be there. But Gotta give Gene Roddenberry a break. It was the 1960s. We didn't know a lot about space travel, and his whole warp theory was. You gotta give him credit for that. Warp could be possible one day.
It could be possible.
Yes,
It's not some sci-fi thing.
And it could break the speed of light too, because
Warp it should be faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, it will be, because Einstein's relativity only applies to objects traveling through space and not with space.
Exactly.
Because two distant galaxies can actually achieve superluminal relative speeds.
Mm-hmm. Now, the replicators in Star Trek, they can replicate anything you want: foods, drinks, keys, pocket watches. Could that be possible to replicate a piece of food that can give you the nutrients that you need?
We would require quantum computers to do that, no doubt.
And quantum mechanics is
Yes.
your specialty and Ben's specialty, I believe.
Oh,
So-
I don't know a lot about quantum computers.
Well, quantum mechanics does play a big part in time travel, which Star Trek does like to
Yeah.
pop in every now and
I
then.
mean, it does allow you, quantum computing does allow you to transmit more information far faster than this laptop could.
Yeah. I mean, then that's the whole idea I think
it's-
about subspace as well.
And it's all instantaneous.
But we
too.
need to develop it.
Well, developing
still
it's going to
working
take
on it.
weird. It's going to take years.
Yeah.
Ben, what is your input on all of this? You've been very quiet throughout the entire segment.
Well, Star Trek science, I mean, it's some of the ideas are accurate, but it's simply not possible. And
Like dilithium
Right now.
crystals, and you can't
Not
run
feasible.
power off of crystals. No matter what the voodoo witches say, it's not going to be possible. You don't heal yourself using a crystal. I'm sorry. There's energy in a crystal. There's energy in everything.
Yeah.
Everything there's energy, but you don't hold it and it heals a freaking wound. The Earth isn't flat. Let's get back to the segment at hand here, folks.
Wait a minute. So you said something about a crystal. Isn't there something in the Avengers called the Tesseract, which is completely wrong?
Yeah, that's like an infinity stone mixed in with ether. It's oh my god, that's another podcast for another day. That's oh my god,
It's
Marvel
awful.
science is just horrible. See, if the Spider-Man's swinging at 40 mph, he'd get jet lag. One, two, he'd probably rip himself apart. Humans aren't meant. Your blood isn't meant to go in one direction. Your blood, your body is built so it goes. Where the hell am I going with this? We're talking about Star Trek, Harrison. Bad Harrison. Bad Harrison. God.
Where's that crystal that hurt?
Where's the Chris? That's actually an episode of Bill Nye. You ever watch Bill Nye Saves the World yet?
No.
It's a new Bill Nye series. Came out later this year, I should say. And he had somebody who believed in spirits and crystals and all this voodoo bullshit on there. And
Only Ken Ham.
he said, but this kid,
God, that's God stuff.
the kid said, just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there, and he's not wrong. Just because we can't see an atom doesn't mean it's not there. Just because we can't see DNA doesn't mean it's not there. It's very much there. Just like, Harrison, if you don't stop, I'm going to throw you off that balcony.
You're gonna need a big crystal. More draft.
But I refuse to believe in the ideas of spirits. And Harrison, take that away from him. By the way, Ben's Harrison's younger brother, and he's being much more well behaved. My God, 8 minutes. Holy fuck, this is the longest podcast I've ever made. It's sad, isn't it? So let's go back. We'll go to the Marvel science. We'll go to Marvel science one day. But today we're sticking on Star Trek science. And what I love about Star Trek is they love to incorporate time travel. They love to do it.
It's no.
And time travel into the past, like I have said time and time again, I don't have my notes with me. I thought I had my phone with me. But like I've said time and time again, it is not a possible thing.
It's not.
It's not.
I have something for
It's
that.
saying it's
Maybe the future, but then we have to calculate the date. How are we going to do that? How are we going to calculate time? How are we even going to get to the future?
and it's also relying on that time acts like a spatial dimension, which it may not.
Yes. And you know what? The only proof that we may be able to go forward in time is that time moves forward. For those of you at home who don't understand that, time is not a human concept. It is a tangible thing. You can see it happen. You can see a flower wilt. You can see a human die. That is time. Harrison.
So the thing about time is that in the most widely accepted version of string theory, M theory, is that time is not a spatial dimension, and you can only move one direction in time. So maybe you could speed up the way you perceive time. You can do it all the time.
Yeah, no pun intended.
You can also slow it down, but there's no way you can go backwards.
Exactly. And
Unless you're in a black hole, but that's
Yeah.
a whole different thing.
And, you know, but that was my theory. In the theory, you can't go backwards. Time is set. It's like a rock. If you try to break the rock, you will break the rock. But if you try to add something to the rock, which is what you're doing, you're taking yourself out of your timeline and putting it into somebody else's, and you would shatter time. Just imagine how much force it takes to break a rock. That's a lot of force.
How would you shatter time? Because time.
Because think about it.
It's proven to be malleable.
But look at this. This is plastic, right? Solid plastic. If I try to push something in there, it's gonna break it. It's gonna break that piece, and it's gonna break this. You're breaking time by trying to fix it, almost in a sense.
I mean, I guess it does make sense because by taking that out of our universe, it would violate the universal constant, which by our latest calculations is 0.
Mm-hmm.
And also, say time travel is possible. It also doesn't move in space, so you'd also need teleportation. So, say we went back to 1940, the Earth may not be in the same spot.
Exactly.
It won't be in the same spot. May not be in the same spot.
Won't.
It won't be in the same
Yeah.
spot.
1940, the Earth is probably going to be on the other side of the sun and a little bit farther away from the sun.
Yeah.
You know, but then there's another theory by itself.
And then there's the sun traveling around the galaxy.
Exactly.
And then the galaxy.
Yeah, the Earth will not be in the same space.
No, it won't.
You have your galaxy, and then you have your solar system. Your solar system is revolving around a giant black hole in the middle. Multiple black holes, I should say. You're not going to be in the same space, and you're probably just going to end up God only knows where.
Yeah, with a
By the
big
way,
crystal.
there is no God. Hate to break it to you. I don't hate to break it to you. There is no God. Stop believing in a God. So, thanks for joining us. Anyways, I think that pretty much concludes it for today. Anything else to add before we leave?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Well, thank you once again, guys. This has been Trek Talk. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time. There are 2 genders.